What's going on, guys? What's going on? What is going on? Let me know if my audio is good. Oh, 1 second, guys. 1 second. What's going on, guys? Is that better? That's better. Sorry. My background wasn't up. It's just my room. Just gonna give it a few more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. TJ is not gonna be with us tonight. He is in volleyball. Yes, he plays volleyball on Tuesday nights. What's going on, guys? Just an FYI, not too much has changed since our video, so. But don't worry, I have a few more plays that we'll look at. I'll cover the entire slate because it is a 4-game slate. So that's the good news. All right. What's going on, guys? All right, let's go ahead and get started. So again, it is just me tonight. Hopefully you guys are fine with that. Let me get a drink of water first. Yeah, I don't really know what volleyball is either, but TJ does it. I'll have to find out when he gets back tomorrow. All right, so this is a 4-game slate, guys. Before we get started, thank you so much for the support. I want to let you guys know about something that I did today. We are trying to have a more interactive experience with you guys and give you guys a more up-to-date, just give you more up-to-date news on whenever somebody gets ruled out and what to do. And this is more of an advanced tool. We released a tool today on Patreon. So what Patreon is it's kind of a supporter tool. It's for streamers, actually. So you go on there and you pay a monthly fee to help your streamer, I guess, if that makes sense. But what I did is I included posts that are going to help you guys out for GPP plays, for cash plays, just a lot of good news. And I'm going to be updating this throughout the entire day, okay? So what this is, and if you guys haven't watched the video, go ahead and watch it, titled How to Win GPPs. So I know for you guys that have been with us for a while, what this goes over, it shows you who my favorite plays are at each position. So basically a player pool, but a very condensed one. And it shows you who to go overweight on. So like this isn't updated, so don't copy this down yet because these are for paid customers. But yeah, for $20 a month, you guys get access to this. So for instance, tonight, Harden, I would say go overweight on him. For Rivers, go overweight. For Gordon, go overweight. For Malik Monk, match the field on him. For somebody like Aldridge, go underweight. So this is very stale data. I haven't updated this. I will update it right after the stream. And again, guys, after lock, I'll be updating some of my favorite plays throughout the entire night, okay? So I'll be doing that on Patreon. If you guys are interested in that, feel free to go ahead and get the subscription. Again, head over. The link is in the description below if you guys are interested. And of course, we always appreciate the support. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the slate. I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm going to go through every single game, just similar to the video. So, what's going on, guys? What's going on? I'll go ahead and get to the questions. Feel free to enter them into the chat. This is going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I do realize that, but that's because it is a 4-game slate. But don't worry, I'll be sure to cover all the questions and everything. All right, so let's go ahead and start with this Milwaukee. Well, actually, let's go ahead and start with the chalk. Let's just get that out of the way now. Let's go ahead and start with Houston. So as we know that Clint Capella, Green, Nene, and Westbrook are all ruled out. As you guys can see, I'll go ahead and close it out. They're ruled out for Houston. So let's go ahead and compute what they look like with those guys off the court. I just kind of want to show you what my mindset is kind of looking like here. So let's go ahead and take Green. Let's go ahead and take Nene. Let's go ahead and take Westbrook. and Clint Capella. Let's go ahead and take Capella off the court. Where is Capella? What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Appreciate that comment. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and look at this picture. So the biggest boost, and this is absolutely outrageous, the biggest boost clearly on the entire team here, 12.1% boost in James Harden. Not only that, that's in 280 minutes of a sample size. He is close to 50% usage, 1.98. If you are not starting James Harden tonight, you're going completely against statistics and you're basing it off of a feeling, okay? Do not, and I repeat, do not fade James Harden. The only way this can hurt you is if he gets in some sort of injury or gets into foul trouble like Booker last night. We won't talk about it. Or he has a completely off shooting night. But he's going to be involved in 50% of offensive plays with the Houston Rockets tonight, guys. That does not make sense in any kind of picture to fade whatsoever for the Rockets, okay? James Harden is by far my favorite pay-up option on the slate, and that's because I'm looking at stats. 280-minute sample size, 1.98 fantasy points per minute. James Harden is the man tonight, okay? And I will say that with confidence. I love James Harden. At 12K, he comes to a 6.3 on our sheet, okay? Do not fade the beard. Please don't fade the beard. Statistics all point in his direction. Plus, it's a 118. This is going to be about an average spot for Houston. I'm not in love with the over-under. Again, there is blowout potential. But if this game stays relatively close, which it should, they have a tight rotation, and James Harden should see those minutes, even if it is within 15, 20 so points, he should still be in the game. If you fade him, you're going to miss out on a ton of points. I'd be willing to take that risk on James Harden, okay? James Harden is the man tonight. Let's go ahead and start talking about these other guys because these other guys are important too, right? So next up on the list is Eric Gordon here. He's going to get a 9.5% boost in usage. So 1.16 fantasy points per... Nope, sorry, look, wrong guy. No, that's right. 1.16 fantasy points per minute Eric Gordon is averaging. Yeah, I don't want to hear Booker's name either. Shot absolutely terrible, got in foul trouble, and then Reggie Jackson shot 1 for 16 last night. I'm sorry, guys. I can't predict bad shooting nights. I'm not perfect. I'm sorry. Okay, so we'll move past that. So Eric Gordon comes out to a 39.44 fantasy point output, 7.4 on our sheet. At 5.3, that might scare away a lot of guys. Keep in mind, he's going to have a good matchup here. 26th in the league. Charlotte ranks against the Rockets. So I do not mind Eric Gordon whatsoever. Again, he's actually tagged by one of the analysts as being a core play, so I can get behind that. I do like Eric Gordon tonight. It's going to be James Harden and Eric Gordon. I mean, that's going to be the offense tonight, okay? So I don't mind Eric Gordon. I'm going to be overweight on him. It looks like the percentages have been adjusted, so I'm going to have to see what that's going to look like at the end of the stream here. Okay, so Eric Gordon, James Harden to top the list. Macklemore, let's go right back here. I just want to show you guys all the stats I'm looking at so you can't hate on me. 0.83 fantasy points per minute, 25 minutes. I'm going to have to adjust that real quick because he was at 27, so bear with me. 25.83. Yeah, so it's going to go down just a tad. Austin Rivers actually went up. Bear with me, guys. Again, fire away any questions you have into the chat. I'll be sure to get to them. Do not worry. Austin Rivers, 24.96. All right. PJ Tucker's still at 37. Unbelievable. All right, so that makes Austin Rivers the next best value play on the slate or on the team here. Let's look at Austin Rivers. 0.78 fantasy points per minute. I know he's not that good of a shooter, but guys, 0.78 fantasy points per minute is actually pretty respectable. I will take that. 17.6% usage. Yes, all these guys are just going to be shooting the ball, but again, this price tag is way too low on somebody like Austin Rivers. 3.6, a great value play. Playing 32 minutes. You can't pass up that opportunity. PJ Tucker's minutes got adjusted, so let me go ahead and just calculate those real quick. 0.62 fantasy points per minute. Can you believe it? Well, he scored 0 points last game. PJ Tucker. So look, so it's actually inflating PJ Tucker's value just a little bit. So this is where I might recommend going to match the field or even lower. We'll go ahead and take a look at his last game. He played center, which he'll probably do this game as well. It says Salisbury University. I'm sure it says Salisbury. That's where I went. Did my undergrad studies. So even playing in the center position, guys, he got 38 minutes, 36, 12, 13 minutes, or 12 and 13 DK points. Not a very good fantasy player, to say the least. So yeah, this might be a player you want to match on just because he's not productive whatsoever. PJ Tucker's the only guy I'm really scared of. So I'll recap Houston like this, okay? James Harden is going to be a cash play. He's going to be my cash lock. I love Austin Rivers for value. I love Eric Gordon. I think those are your three must-haves from Houston. I think everybody else becomes a GPP option. I guess PJ Tucker could be in a cash build because of his percentage ownership, but we just got done talking about how much he really isn't that good of a basketball player. So Ben McLemore is going to be a GPP option here. Still a 6.1 on our sheet. I don't mind him whatsoever. And then Daniel House, we'll go ahead and compute him. I want to make sure I got all the right numbers on him too. Daniel House, 0.76. So he actually isn't that bad. Let's see what he comes out to here. Yeah, 25 point. That's what I have him at. So 4.9. And because of his 5.1 price tag, I actually am not that high on Daniel House as well. So those are my favorite plays from Houston. Houston is the most heavily undervalued team on the entire slate by far for value. So you're going to be looking at Eric Gordon. You're going to be looking at Austin Rivers. You're going to be looking at James Harden, PJ Tucker for cash, McLemore for a great GPP option, and then House I'm not that high on. Okay? So that's going to be my recap on Houston. Sorry that took so long. All right, so we'll go ahead and start going to these other teams. So the rest of the guys are kind of they're not as chalk. So we'll go ahead and roll through the games here. Yeah, I don't like House's price. All right, so let's go ahead and start with Milwaukee and the Pelicans. Obviously, this game's going to be crazy paced. So with Milwaukee, they're projected at 125.75. DiVincenzo comes the best on our sheet here, 5.5 on our sheet. Middleton, also not a bad play. Again, all these guys will be GPP options except for Giannis. Giannis is going to be playing 11.4. It's going to come down to who you want to pay up for. It's going to be between Giannis, LeBron, Harden, and Lillard. That's where you're going to have to make or break the slate. For GPPs, obviously, I'm recommending Harden. For cash, I'm recommending Harden. It'd be interesting to see where the ownership goes. It's going to be split probably between Giannis and LeBron. So Giannis is another good option here. 5.3, you can't just argue with the 125. Of course, it's going to be a competitive game too. A decent matchup against the Pelicans as well. So all that being said, I think Giannis is another good option. Has a high upside. I wouldn't recommend him over Harden, but I would say he's a great option. I'm probably going to match a field, maybe go a little bit overweight. It'll be interesting to see where my percentage ownership kind of goes for that. But DiVincenzo, Middleton, and Giannis are my favorite plays. I'd say Wesley Matthews an outside GPP shot, but again, I'm not really interested in anybody else from here. First question, I just saw it in the chat real quick. I'm just gonna answer and then come back to all the other questions here. Would I run 4 Rockets? Absolutely. I might even go 5 for GPPs. You guys know I get crazy aggressive, and you will see that with my Patreon ownerships if you guys decide to go that route. I do recommend going Patreon. All right, so with the Pelicans, I really, really like Brandon Ingram tonight. I think if he's coming in at 19%, he's still a fairly productive player, averaging 1.24 fantasy points per minute at 35 minutes at 7K. Let's go ahead and look at his last game because I think this will convince you guys. With Zion fully back, Ingram's still playing 38 minutes. He got 49.5. He got 36.75 and 38.75. All those games he's hitting value in another pace-up game. So I think Brandon Ingram is going to be really safe. I don't know if he's cash viable. I wouldn't hate him if you threw him in the cash, but I think he's another great play. If he's coming in here at 19%, I'm going to be overweight on him. Derek Favors also another good play here at 6 point per dollar value. I do like him at 26 minutes. I know his usage just kind of dropped off since Zion has been in the picture, but again, 4.9, he's still right around this price tag at 4.9. He's right around value. He's not had a bad game per se. He just hasn't had any crazy ceiling games. But again, against Milwaukee, against Brook Lopez, I could see it definitely happening. It's a pace-up spot. He's going to be tagged here as a cash play. I think 29% is okay for him. I don't. He's gonna be one of those last plays. I'm gonna be like, okay, you could go either or if you're gonna play him. I'm not against it, but if you fade him, also not against it. Zion's a little overpriced for me. I don't think he's a bad play, but 7.1, I definitely like Ingram better because Zion is still playing 32 minutes, and Brandon Ingram literally plays the entire game. Yes, he hit value here. Yes, he didn't hit value there. 26 points. I mean, it's slowly increasing. But Brandon Ingram is showing consistency with minutes and consistency in his play. I think Brandon Ingram's a safer option. I don't mind Zion and GPPs, but again, I like Ingram more. I will say that. I like Ingram more. I think Zion's a better player. Just think Ingram, with him being at higher minutes and just a higher ceiling in general. You know, I do like Ingram. I do like Zion. I like Ingram, Favors, and Zion. Again, for GPPs, I do like them a lot. And then we start to get down to Drew Holiday and Lonzo Ball. I like these guys for GPP only. I don't think these guys are cash viable. It'll be interesting to see where my ownership kind of goes for these guys. Of course, Drew got that massive price decrease. He was bouncing around in the 8Ks. Oh, 1 second. I got notifications. Yeah, so like Drew Holiday went all the way down to 6.9. He was 8K, 8.1, 7.9, and then now he's down to 6.9. He still averages 1.09 fantasy points per minute, and with that, he is at a 5.6. Again, he's in a bad matchup. Apparently, Milwaukee does well against combo guards, so I don't mind Drew Holiday for GPP, but again, I like Brandon Ingram the most. Yes, guys, we'll get to all your questions. Do not worry. Feel free to go ahead and enter all your questions into the chat. I feel like I'm doing my morning video all over again, just going through all the games. Isn't a bad thing. I also like Lonzo Ball. So I recalculated Josh Hart because he got a slight boost in minutes. And honestly, it doesn't do too much. I'll actually go ahead and do that again because I think his minutes just updated again. So bear with me because Alexander just got ruled out. So I think that's going to do something to Josh Hart's minutes. Yeah, it is. Kenrich. Alexander, what's going on, guys? Thanks for the love. Yeah, $20 a month to get my GPP, my favorite GPP aggressive strategies for each slate. All right, so let's see here. Who am I looking at? I'm looking at Josh Hart, 0.79 at 27 minutes, 21.33. Yeah, not really. Yeah, so it doesn't do much. So it's literally at Roto Grinder's projection. So Josh Hart's not that great of a play. Again, I really do like Ingram, Favors, and Zion as my favorite GPP plays. These guys could be snuck into your cash lineup, but again, I'm trying to get as many of those Houston Rockets as I can into my lineup before I start considering other players. Ingram's my favorite. Drew Holiday is a GPP option, and so is Lonzo. All right, let's talk about Charlotte for a second because Charlotte is... They're in a pace of spot at 104. They literally average under 100 points. I think at 100 points on the season. So it's a pace of spot for them. I started recalculating all these guys. Again, we're still awaiting injury news on PJ Washington. Did he get ruled out? Can you guys confirm that for me in the chat? This is where I need your help. I need your help versus... Yeah, I need your help for Washington here. It looks like he's excluded from the player pool. If not, I'll go ahead and calculate that on stream. If Washington is out here. I'm going to go ahead and just look real quick. Valanciunas, no. No. I don't see anything on Washington, so I'm going to go ahead and come back to them. He's still pending, I know that. Anything on Washington, guys? PJ Washington, any news? All right, I'll go ahead and go to Portland. So I know everybody wants to play Lillard, and we'll talk about Lillard in just a second here. But for Portland, McCollum, again, this is a pace down spot for Denver, okay? And it's funny because Denver's over-under is actually going up here. Their implied total is actually going up 115. It keeps going up. It's been going up all day. I think it's because Lillard's been taking so many premature threes. He's been taking so many shots just early in the possessions. I think it's kind of speeding up the offense in general. Okay, we still don't know on Washington. Anyway, so I think it's just funny to watch Denver because they're not usually that high of a pace team, but at 115, it's just kind of funny to see that. But these guys are playing in a pace down spot. As we know, Denver plays good defense. We do expect Jamal Murray. They are questionable. He was leaning more towards, I think he was in the last shoot around, so he should play tonight. I'm not too sure. I'll have to check up on that too. But CJ McCollum comes out to be a nice play on our sheet here. 6.3, 5.5, not a bad play. Again, all these guys are GPP viable. I would not start these guys in cash, okay? This is going to be a limited upside game unless somebody gets really hot like Lillard. Whiteside, 5.5. I don't mind him in GPPs. I actually like the matchup here. Again, there's that thin rotation. Look at all these guys out for Portland. It's the same guys, but they are still out. We have Zach Collins, Hood, Nurkic, Scal, and those guys are big guys. 33 minutes. Again, 5.5 on their sheet. Not a bad play. Carmelo, 5.4. Again, GPP option. And then I'll go ahead and draw the line there. McCollum, Whiteside, and Anthony are GPP options. You'll see here with Lillard at 10.3. I love Lillard. I love Lillard. Not tonight, but I just love him because he won me my GPP takedown a couple nights ago for $2,500. I do not like Lillard tonight, though. Okay. I like James Harden tonight. Lillard, if you're going to pay up, it would have to be in like one of your 20 lineups because Lillard is going to have a ceiling game. I like James Harden more. Okay, and you can't argue with Giannis at 11.4. I mean, Lillard's just up in that. He's just too high in that price range. I know he's been hot, guys, but again, don't let recency bias kind of fog your brain here. Okay, it's a bad matchup. It's a pace down spot. Again, you're looking at people like LeBron in the exact same price tag, who just has so much more usage in general. I don't know, guys. I know I hate to say it, but again, if you're gonna play him in GPPs, just make sure you have limited exposure to him. I'm going to be high on James Harden. I'm going to be high on Giannis. I'm going to be decently owned on LeBron. Lillard's just getting too pricey for me. Okay, and this is a bad matchup. All the stats are pointing to Lillard not having a good night. And I love Lillard. Trust me, he's won me a lot of money in the past couple weeks. Okay, I'm not hating on Lillard. I'm saying there's better options than Lillard tonight. McCollum, Whiteside, Anthony, top the list there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. So let's go. We're still waiting injury news on them. Let's go to San Antonio. San Antonio is kind of interesting because Aldridge keeps bouncing around with his percentage ownership. Right now he's at 27%. Aldridge, obviously 6.2. You would think auto lock, right? No, he's a bad defensive matchup here against the Lakers. It's going to be a pace down spot. Aldridge is averaging just under 1.1 fantasy points per minute at 32 minutes. That really barely covers that price tag. Okay? That barely covers that price tag. Aldridge, I'm a Spurs fan. You know how much I like my Spurs, but Aldridge really doesn't have much upside tonight. Of course, he's coming off a 50-point performance. Of course, this was last night. So this is another back-to-back, right? So 21, 24, 34, just very volatile. And again, he's going to be going up against AD down low and McGee. I mean, it's just not a good matchup for him for rebounds and just scoring in general. I'm going to have limited exposure to Aldridge. I'll probably match, if not be underweight on Aldridge, as much as I hate to say that. Again, bad matchup. It's just a back-to-back. They shouldn't win. I hope they do. I really hope I'm wrong because I love my Spurs. I hope they get out of this slump that they're in all season long, pretty much. But really, Aldridge is not that intriguing. Okay, I will say for cash, though, if you have him as a last spot, I don't care about that. That's not that big of a deal. 27%, again, is cash viable. Again, this is for tournament, so... Bryn Forbes, not a bad option for cash. So Bryn Forbes, not a bad option in general, a value play, 25 minutes, 3.3K, 5.5. Again, if you want to take a stab at somebody for value, Bryn Forbes, not a bad option. DeJounte Murray, 26 minutes, 5K, 5.5. Again, these guys are slightly undervalued here, but again, they're still limited in their upside because this is going to be a pace down spot. So that's my opinion on the Spurs. Yeah, don't worry. I just saw the updates come through my phone as I was talking about the Spurs. I'm going to go ahead and recalculate Houston, see what their minutes are looking like. They still should have a tight rotation, and it doesn't change Harden whatsoever. But as far as these other guys for the bench play, I'm going to have to come back to them. So bear with me here. This is why we're doing this on stream to help give you guys an edge, okay? Don't worry, I'll get to all your questions in just a second. So now with the Lakers, as we flip over to the Lakers against the Spurs. Spurs ranked dead last against versatile bigs. AD should be a cash lock. AD's another good cash play. 28% owned is what they're saying here. And again, plenty of upside. Again, should dominate in the post. I really do like AD tonight. LeBron James, again, another great pay up option. 10.1, not a bad matchup, but not an ideal matchup. Again, these guys are at 119, so this is matching the Pelicans pace here. I don't mind these guys. I think I'm going to match the field, if not be a little bit overweight on these guys. I don't mind them at all, but that's where I'll draw the line. Again, all these other Lakers are pretty limited in their minutes. I mean, 22, 25. I mean, they're all playing mid-20s, so I'm not too intrigued by these guys. I wouldn't even take a GPP stab at these guys. I think there's better options on the slate. All right. So, again, we're still awaiting that PJ Washington news, and we're still awaiting that Jamal Murray news. As soon as that breaks, we'll go ahead and recalculate Denver and Charlotte, okay? I can tell you right now, Charlotte's not that intriguing without the PJ Washington news, even though it does pace up for them. Let's go back to Houston. Let's revisit them. So, Frazier is getting 17 minutes. Also, thank you so much for the subscription. Jim Wall, thank you so much. Jim Wall 76. Thank you so much. Okay. So, Gordon, 33 minutes. Did anything change? Macklemore, 30 minutes. So I think he went up. Yeah, I think he went up. So I don't think they changed too much. So let's go ahead and look back here. Sorry, I have to go back to the board. Go back to the drawing board here. Houston Rockets. Let's get rid of Gerald Green. Let's get rid of Westbrook. Nene. Who else is out? Capella. Missing one. Nope. That's it. All right, so who's the Houston lineup, guys? Actually, I can just look at it. I'm being lazy. I just want to know if Tucker's playing center again. Yep, he is. Oh, I thought it said Hardenstein. About to give me a heart attack. I thought he was in the starting lineup. Okay, so Eric Gordon, 1.16. 33 minutes. For you guys that are just joining, thank you so much for the support, guys. We do this all the way up through lock. We compute values and we look at rotations and usage all the way up through lock. So we help give you guys an edge on the field. Again, guys, I have plenty of tutorial videos, plenty of daily videos to help you guys be better DFS players. If this is your first time to the stream, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button, guys. We hope to see you back tomorrow. Eric Gordon, 33, 38. So yeah, I think his minutes went down by 1 minute. It shouldn't change much at all, though. Ooh, Austin Rivers' minutes went down. That's what it was. Okay, let's look. See, guys, this is why we're on top of it. This is why you guys stay. It did change it, but he's still a good value play. Ooh, not as much as I thought, though. Uh-oh. Yikes. That changes things, guys. I'm going to take back what I said. Hold on here. PJ Tucker, 0.62. 22.94. It's so confusing. I'm going to go with their projection. Because they have a bad matchup at center, but PJ Tucker isn't anything to be too intrigued about. Daniel House, I believe his minutes went up. No, he's the same. All right. So let's digest this real quick. Let me go ahead and build some lineups to see what we're looking at. Percentage ownership will shake up too. So let me go ahead and refresh the page here. And then I'll go ahead and start answering questions, okay? I know you guys are getting antsy. I'll go answer some questions here in just a second. I'm going to build 150 lineups. I'll give you a general direction here. I kind of take back what I said about the Rockets. It's not all aboard the Rockets, even though I still do like them a lot. But let's go ahead and just build a couple lineups here. Oh, my screen froze here, guys. Bear with me. Thank you so much for the support, guys. Thank you so much. Interesting. Bear with me, guys. Wow, internet's going very slow. It's because so many of you guys are joining. That's why. All right, let me go ahead and answer some questions here. Let me go ahead and scroll up while I wait for my internet to load. There it goes. I'm going to go ahead and scroll up here to some of these questions. PJ Washington closer to probable. Awesome. All right, so that won't change much about Charlotte. So let me. Is Kuzma GPP viable? I don't like Kuzma today. Like I said, it's going to be very straightforward. If you're looking for value, and I think Kuzma is going to be sitting in that 5K range, I think you're going to, or 4K. Yeah, you're going to be looking to people like I had already suggested from Houston. All right, this is almost done here. I don't know why it's taking so long. This might be the only time I do this all night. Hold on, guys. All right. So let's go ahead and just take a step back and let's look at the percentage ownership. Okay, so Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's going to be a very good play tonight. Eric Gordon, I don't suggest fading. James Harden, obviously, we've already talked about. It looks like he's going to be coming in slightly overweight here for me. PJ Tucker, another great play. I think that PJ Tucker, no matter what's going to be a decent play here. He's going to be playing against the bad centers. He'll be chalky. I don't know if I'm going to be this much overweight on him, but I will be overweight enough just because of the way the minutes shook up with the guard positions. It looks like the value is going to be here with PJ Tucker. Okay, Brandon Ingram is still another great GPP option. I still am in love with Brandon Ingram tonight. I think he has plenty of upside, especially if he is penned here at 18.78%. Okay, and then Macklemore here. Macklemore is still a good play. Macklemore, 61%. It looks like I'm going to be overweight on him as well. And then Austin Rivers, I'm either going to match the field or I'm going to be slightly undervalued now for him. Okay, so I'm not as high on Austin Rivers anymore. Again, I'm going to have to look at the minutes and see how they're going to be updated here throughout the rest of the stream. All right, so let me go ahead and answer some questions. I'll just go back to that recap, actually, because I actually had some good plays for you guys to look at. AD, obviously, I'm very high on AD. Zion Williamson, another decent play. Derek Favors, another good play. LeBron, I'm going to match a field on. I had a feeling that would happen. And then the rest here, looks like LaMarcus Aldridge going to be slightly underweight on. So yeah, these are my favorite plays here at the top. So starting, again, the Rockets are still my favorite team to target. Eric Gordon, there's just too much value to go around on that roster, again, with Westbrook and the rest of the guys being out. So Eric Gordon, Harden, and now PJ Tucker top the list, again, just because of ownership. I'm not that high on Tucker usually. But again, like if this is a night where you're going to fade PJ Tucker, it might come back to haunt you, as bad as that sounds. So PJ Tucker, again, is not going to be a bad value play here. All right, go ahead and start asking your questions, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go through them all. Macklemore Rivers, I just answered that. So Macklemore is going to be my favorite now for value for that team. I do like Macklemore tonight. Connaughton for GPP. Let's go ahead and take a look at Connaughton here. So Connaughton, 18 minutes at 3.2. I don't suggest it. They have the full roster back. I'm not going to be high on Connaughton again within that same price range. If you're looking at the rest of the slate, Connaughton's at 3.2. And I don't suggest really going anyone else besides Macklemore or Rivers in that range. I mean, maybe Bryn Forbes because he's playing 26 minutes. But again, like you have to target those Houston guys for value. So yeah, it kind of stinks that I have to play PJ Tucker tonight. But again, the edge is going to be playing a lot of James Harden because the field is still not. I mean, that percentage ownership should be at 100. Yes, this is Takedown Tuesdays for sure. We're going to have a good night tonight, guys. Are all these cash plays as well? So I went through and I'll actually do what I'll go ahead and give my favorite cash plays. Just cash specific. So let's do that real quick. So the highest owned guy is going to be James Harden. You need to have James Harden in your lineup. Let me refresh the page just to make sure I got the ownership right, because you know that does change. All right. Yeah, so Austin Rivers is still going to be up there. Favorite cash plays. So let's say James Harden, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon is going to be my favorite. I'll say Derek Favors, AD, if you can get those guys both into your lineup. Yeah, those are my favorite cash plays. Harden, PJ Tucker, Eric Gordon, Zion, and Anthony Davis. I don't hate Zion. If you want to get Zion in there, I'm not against it. And I also like Ingram as a low-owned guy if you want to fit into your lineup. Again, 119, the high over-under is definitely an intriguing option for me, for all those players on that team. But I do like Brandon Ingram. I mentioned at the very start of the stream how much I like him. All right, let's go ahead and start scrolling down here. Malik Beasley, a good GPP pivot. A pivot off of who? Because if you go back here, if Jamal Murray's playing, absolutely not. But if Jamal Murray is not playing, I think it's more of an intriguing option. Malik Beasley, 3.3, 19 minutes. If he's not playing, yeah, Malik Beasley could step into the picture. Again, I need to calculate them with Jamal Murray if he doesn't play. But if he does play, I'm off those Denver guys. Pretty much everybody I'm off of. Again, I'm going to be on the Rockets train all night. I love Harden and Giannis and Stack and GPP. Yeah, I think that's a viable option. If you can get a lot of these value guys in there, again, a stars and scrub kind of night for sure. So again, like you can start your lineup with Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, McLemore. You can go Austin Rivers. I'm still not completely against Austin Rivers, even though he's playing lower minutes now. And then you can come back with somebody like James Harden, and then you might be able to fit Giannis in there. Or you could go somebody like Lillard if you want to, or even LeBron. So again, it's going to be definitely a stars and scrub kind of night. What would really, really differentiate yourself from the field is if you could get James Harden and a bunch of mid-tier guys in there. Or at least some exposure to these mid-tier guys, because all these guys are going to be low-owned. So, like, people like Drew Holiday are going to be very low-owned. Drew Holiday is going to be extremely low-owned. CJ McCollum is going to be very low-owned. Lonzo is going to be low-owned. All these mid-range guys are going to be low-owned. Malik Monk. Brook Lopez, question mark. We can talk about Brook. Brook is not as intriguing as these other guys just because he does have that price increase at 5.3, 26 minutes. I know he went off, had a block party last game. GPP, if you want. But again, he's averaging 0.94 fantasy points on the season. Doesn't rate well on their sheet, but does have upside. Not a good matchup, though. Again, it's a pace-up spot, so I don't hate these Milwaukee Bucks. I just think a lot of them are priced accordingly. Hernan Gomez. Good question. Let's go ahead and take a look at Hernan Gomez. Their center picture is weird. So they have Cody Zeller now here at 25 minutes. I need to adjust that. I'm actually going to adjust things here in just a second now that we know PJ Washington is playing. Yeah, so Zeller's getting 25 minutes. So Hernan Gomez is getting 17 minutes. And then... Oh, Biombo's out. Yeah, so it's PJ Washington. So PJ Washington, Zeller, and Hernan Gomez are splitting minutes, but Hernan Gomez is getting the lowest minutes at 3.8. If you want to take a stab at him, I don't hate it. But again, it looks like Houston does do well against post-up bigs. They're without Capella. So again, I don't hate these centers. I think Zeller could go under-owned as well, showing at 3%. So Zeller might end up being another intriguing GPP option. I know I haven't touched base on Charlotte. I'm about to get to him after I cover the questions here in just a second. All right. Yep, we heard that news. Thanks, Sano, for the update. Favorite punt point guard besides Rivers? Let's go ahead and look at that. Punt point guard besides Rivers. I think it's going to be Bryn Forbes. So if we look here, yeah, Bryn Forbes. Yeah, I don't really like anybody else. Malik Monk, maybe. If you want to consider that a punt in the 4K range. Yeah, I think I think Rivers is by far the best punt play, if you want to consider that a punt play. Yeah, I mean, he just eats too much usage, guys. You can't really avoid him. Connaughton or Beasley? I would say neither, but if I had to choose, Beasley right now. So straight stars and scrubs. Yeah, it should be a stars and scrubs kind of night, guys. I don't think Kuzma is a necessary play, no. Miles Bridge, a good play if Washington's out. He's in. All right, we have a lineup in here. Feel free to enter your lineups into the chat, too. I'll go ahead and give them a look. Holiday, Rivers, Ingram, Gab. Tucker. I don't know who Gab is. Tucker, McLemore, Gordon, Middleton. It's you have some low owned guys in there. You have Middleton, low owned. If this is GPP, I'm fine with it. But again, you have to kind of get some high owned guys. If that's cash, I don't like that for cash. Connaughton or DiVincenzo? DiVincenzo. I think DiVincenzo rates the best on our sheet. He's playing the most minutes, 225. Thoughts on Middleton? Yeah, no, Middleton's actually not a bad play. If you want to consider somebody for GPP in that mid-tier range, you could go very low owned. I don't mind Middleton. Middleton comes out to a 5.3 on our sheet, 7.3K, 31 minutes. Again, if they keep this close, you could play the full minutes. I don't really hate Middleton at all. Yeah, I do need to fix McLemore. I did that. Yeah, lock is at 7:30, guys. 7:30. So we have about 15 more minutes to go on the stream. Monk and DiVincenzo are Rivers and favors. Graham for GPP. You're talking about the Graham from Charlotte. Yeah, Devontae Graham's not bad. 6.8. You'd think that's a little underpriced, but again, he averages close to a point per minute. So 36. Again, that doesn't rate too well on our sheet. Devontae Graham's not as good as we thought he was. PJ Washington being back just kind of takes me off of these guys completely. I don't really like Charlotte too much. I know the price tags do look intriguing at first look, but you know, if they're going to keep up, which we do, we hope they keep up with Houston. I think some of these guys could be GPP plays. It's just the thing is, you don't really know who's going to step up. If I had to pick somebody, Cody Zeller's going to be my favorite. Again, should dominate against PJ Tucker. Should get rebounds. Very low owned. There's so many options at center too, so if he happens to have a really good game, that could definitely be leverage against the field. Bridges, Middleton for GPP. Like I said, I'm kind of off Bridges now. Middleton, I do like for GPP. Do you think stacking Harden with Lillard or Giannis is a bad idea? I don't think that at all. I think that's actually optimal. I'm going to be having a lot of GPPs running with stars and scrubs and probably mixing up the Houston guys with a couple of these pay-up options. So I'm going to be going Lillard and Harden with all these Houston guys, and then a different variation of those Houston guys with Giannis and Harden. It's going to be a lot of those different kinds of lineups for me. I think that's going to be optimal. I'm going to probably run a single entry like that as well. Is 4 Rockets too many? I already answered that. Hernan Gomez thoughts. Thoughts on Whiteside. Whiteside, I mentioned him earlier. I don't mind him for GPPs. Again, there's so many center options in general. So he's in a good matchup. Again, rates pretty decent on our sheet. Again, is a very thin rotation at the big man spot. So Whiteside could be in for a nice little outing tonight for sure. It's a pace down spot, but again, like that shouldn't matter too much for Whiteside. DiVincenzo or Monk? I'd probably go DiVincenzo. I think he has slightly more upside. Again, I'm kind of scared off now with PJ Washington. Him not in the rotation, I would have been on Monk, but again, it's going to be eating into the minutes and usage of Monk. Harden, Ball, Eric, I don't know who Eric Bledsoe, Zeller, Jeremy Grant, Lillard for cash. No, I don't like that at all. Actually, I don't like Ball in there. I don't like Eric Bledsoe. I don't like Grant. I don't like Zeller. I don't like any of those guys, man, for cash. Those guys are all low owned except for Harden. Malik Monk viable for cash? I don't think so. Any Hart love? Very low owned GPP. Just a little bit of love. I might have like the smallest amount of exposure. Maybe if he's one of your last spots for GPP. Harden, McLemore, Gordon, Ingram, Zeller, Rivers, AD, DiVincenzo for GPP. I like that. I can get behind that. Yeah, so we know Ingram will be decently unowned. Zeller's going to be very low owned. DiVincenzo is going to be low owned, so I like that. Hold on, guys. Let me take a drink here. All right, GPP lineup. Rivers, Harden, Hart, Giannis, Favors, McLemore, Grant, Monk. You guys are talking about Jeremy Grant, right? Because I'm not that high on Jeremy Grant tonight. I think his price tag's adjusting accordingly. Again, Jamal Murray just shakes up that whole picture. Again, all these guys are priced so low when he's back in the lineup, usually. It's kind of hard to say. Again, the only guy maybe I would get behind. Again, like Monty Morris is way too overpriced. Like Jokic would be like maybe the only play I'd consider from Denver. I know it's a pace up spot, but again, like Jeremy Grant's below 4K, usually around 4K with Jamal Murray back. Guys, Jamal Murray is a great player. If he's getting 28 minutes, which it says he is, that's going to eat into their usage a lot. I think Jokic is the only guy that's unaffected just because he's playing a big man role down there. But even he's getting somewhat affected, so. You're fading anyone over 10K. I don't like that strategy tonight, especially not tonight. But good luck. You're banking on injuries at that point. All right, Batum projected minutes. Good question. He's not in the player pool. 0. I don't know about that. New to the stream, so for sure stack Houston. Stack certain players in Houston. Let me go back. Let me just make sure the minutes haven't been adjusted again because they've been messing with us all night. So Austin Rivers went up to 29 minutes, guys. Are you kidding? Hold on. Back to the drawing board. Okay. I think these are going to be final. Let's just take a look at these minutes and see if they make sense. So Macklemore at 29. He usually plays about 30 minutes. Rivers plays about 30 to 32 minutes. Okay, so Tucker playing 37. Yeah, that makes sense. Daniel House 33. Yes, that makes sense. Gordon 33. Harden 38. Okay, I can get behind that. Let's go and calculate with those. Oh, look, I still have them up because I've been looking at the Houston lineup all day. Okay, so Harden, we don't need to calculate him. We already know what the deal is with him. Gordon, 1 point. I can memorize these now. Yes, that's the same. Daniel House, yes, that's the same. PJ Tucker, yes. The only guys that need to adjust are Rivers and Macklemore. And I'm not going to mess with Cephalus because he's so bad. 20 minutes. All right. $29 for both of them, right, guys? Austin Rivers is slightly over here. Okay. All right, I'm going to take Rivers' projection on that. Macklemore, 0.83. Okay, so Macklemore is going to be slightly undervalued here. All right. Well, let's run this again. Hopefully the internet goes faster. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about this constant minute update with Houston. I guess the Hardenstein and Frazier being added back into the lineup kind of messed up everything. So minutes are finally adjusted, though. I think 29 for both those guys, that's pretty accurate. I think that's the most accurate you're going to get. I think if anything, Austin Rivers is going to play more than 29 minutes, as bad as he is. They just don't have any guard play. I can see Austin Rivers playing upward of 30 to 35 minutes if he has to. All right, so let's back it up. Let's back it up again. Let's back it up. My screen's messed up. Why is my screen messed up? What's wrong with my screen? Looks fine. All right. Let me know if my screen's messed up, guys. Okay, so let's back it up here. Eric Gordon, Macklemore, Austin Rivers, and James Harden are all cash viable tonight. Even PJ Tucker. But as you can see, I'm not as high on PJ Tucker. If you want to go to a 5 Houston lineup, I don't mind it. I can't hate you for that. Okay? I'm still all aboard the Houston Rocket train. I love Brandon Ingram. I like Derek Favors. I like Zion. I'm going to match the field on probably, though. I like LeBron. Looks like Jokic actually got a boost here. Huh. Look at that. LaMarcus Aldridge, I'm not too high on. The upside will be capped there. But here are some of my favorite plays right here, okay? I have to adjust all the exposures. These aren't exactly what I'm going to go with, so don't think you're getting a freebie here. I'm not going to enter 99% Eric Gordon tonight. I can promise you that. Okay. Good. Thanks, guys. So yeah, I think all these guys are cash plays. I think all these Houston Rockets are cash plays. I think you can't go wrong right here, guys. I'm telling you right now. You can't go wrong with the Houston and Pelicans stack tonight, mixed in with a little bit of AD or LeBron. I think that's your safest bet. I think that presents upside. It steals a lot of the ownership, and you get leverage with the Houston guys. Like, obviously, you're not going to see a 4 to 5 person stack for Houston in any one of these cash lineups. It should be very low owned. I think a lot of these guys are thinking they can get away with Houston. Well, if you want leverage, I'd go ahead and stack for these guys. I mean, look at how cheap these guys really are, and they're playing, obviously, 30 minutes. So if you look at these price tags, guys, all the way down. I mean, Austin Rivers, 3.6. He's going to be playing starter minutes. Macklemore's playing starter minutes at bottom of the barrel price tag. You're also looking at PJ Tucker, who's playing 4.4. And then you're talking about a usage hog here with Eric Gordon without Westbrook at 5.3. Guys, on any other team, that doesn't make sense. If you look at all these other rosters, if you compare these guys, look at these price tags, 7.1, 7, 6.9, 6.7. Then let's go back to Houston at almost the exact same over-under. You're looking at price tags at 3.6, 3.4. Mathematically, it doesn't make sense to fade these guys. Hopefully that convinced you guys. All right. So I do like Houston tonight for cash and GPPs. I think that's your leverage tonight, starting with Harden. All right. Because, again, you're garnishing a lot of this ownership with Harden. He's still projected. It looks like his ownership's going up to 59 here. Oh, Jeremy Grant's questionable. Great. So again, I'll be updating that on Patreon. I'll also update some of my favorite pivots in the Discord. But again, like, if you guys want to get the full update, I'm going to be updating on Patreon. I'm going to get off here in about 5 minutes. Again, we shouldn't get that news before the stream. That's the only thing that'll kind of mess it up. But if we take a look here at Denver, Grant being rolled out, 35 minutes. Yeah, that would shake up some minutes here. Ooh, that might get interesting. That might get interesting. How about Corey Clemens? Let's go back to Houston. Good question. Corey Clemens isn't in the player pool. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't exclude him or he's not hanging out anywhere else. Nope. Interesting. Okay, so let me go ahead and answer some last minute questions here. Again, you guys know my general direction. Again, I'm going to pull up my mini cheat sheet here. Again, the real cheat sheet will be posted to Patreon. I'm going to show you guys my exposures, who I'm over on, who I'm under on. But again, this will change through lock, and especially if the Grant news does come out after lock. Again, guys, thank you so much for your support, though. If this is your first time to the stream, thank you so much. We're approaching 200 viewers. I cannot thank you guys enough. Seriously appreciate all the support, guys. If this is your first time to the stream, please hit that subscribe button, please hit that like button. We do this every single night. I try to make it fun for you guys. I try to stay interactive. I try to read all the questions I possibly can. I know some of you get lost in there, but again, guys, I really do appreciate the support. All right. Screen is dying. Is my screen fine, guys? It says it's fine. Okay. 99 Gordon confirmed. No, I'm not having 99% of Gordon in my lineups. I'm gonna be overweight though. Rivers or DiVincenzo? Rivers. All right, we have a lineup in here. Harden, Gordon, Macklemore, Ingram, Lopez, I'm assuming Brook, Simons, LeBron. You lost me here at Lopez and Simons. LeBron and Gary. No, I don't like Gary Harris. Again, it started out great, didn't finish well. I like Harden, Gordon, Macklemore, Ingram. And again, is this for cash or GPP? Absolutely, guys. Thanks for the support. Absolutely. Thank you. No, thank you guys for showing up. Thank you for showing your support. If Grant is out, who benefits the most? Let's go ahead and look at that. You guys want to take a look here. Again, the minutes are going to be what are updated the most here if Grant is ruled out. Jeremy Grant. Let's just take him off the court. Wait, who else is out for Denver? Oh, never mind, a bunch of people. Hold on. I don't know what I'm thinking. Millsap. Where's Plumlee? There he is. Plumlee. We know that Porter. Thank you, Jarrett. Thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you so much. Bobo. That's it. All right, so let's just say that Jeremy Grant gets rolled out after Luck. Am I missing anybody? Oh, I'm missing Porter. Goodness, guys. I'm looking at notifications, trying to look at chat, and you guys are messing me all up. And I can't find Porter. There, goodness. All right. Usage, Jamal. Oh, no, it's only 15 minutes. I was about to say 13%. How much would that screw everything up if Jamal Murray, of all people, got the biggest usage? No, it's only 15 minutes. Don't look at that. Oh, it's all very low. Let's just go ahead and take... Not a usage guy, not a usage guy. Let's take him off the court, see what that does to sample size here. That's still pretty small, but it gives a... So Jokic would benefit the most. Oh, never mind. Usage-wise, Porter's out. Beasley would benefit the most, and so would Jamal Murray. Beasley would probably get an uptick in minutes here. Yeah, he'd get an uptick in minutes, 0.85. Guys, that would open up some value for somebody like Malik Beasley. So I retract my statement about Malik Beasley not being a good value play. He probably would open up some value there. Might be a last-minute pivot if you guys could get to him, and GPP's could create some leverage for sure. Jokic also is a good play. Monty Morris at 0.88 fantasy points per minute, but he's at 5.3 price tag. I don't like Monty Morris. Beasley's a good play. Let's go back here and look at this lineup for Denver to make sure I'm not missing anybody near the bottom of the barrel. I think Beasley, Craig. Let's look at Craig. What was Craig looking like here? Craig, 0.73. What does he look like? Craig. Oh, not a bad usage increase. So, guys, guess what? Craig and Beasley would be nice looking value plays here. Again, like if we're talking about, let's just hypothetically talk here, 25 minutes for Beasley, let's just say 0.85. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad pump play. Beasley at 3.3, averaging 21.25 fantasy points. His output would be 21. Yeah, that would be a good value play. And then Craig would also be, he's also 3.3, so that would open up some value there. Yeah, can you imagine if Murray is the one that steps up the most with all those guys out? I think he should be limited in minutes though. 28 minutes. He hasn't played in a very long time. All right, guys. Looks like we're approaching here 7 o'clock. I'm gonna have to get off here and update my Patreon account. I'm gonna have to update my lineups. Again, guys, thank you so much for the support. Really, really appreciate it. Again, I don't speak too much on FanDuel. We're going a little bit over here, so I'm going to have to end it, guys. Again, send me any questions you guys have on Twitter, through the Discord. If you guys haven't joined Discord yet, I'll go ahead and drop a link here on Twitter. Feel free to enter that. Again, it's an interactive chat where we talk about the slate all day, every day. Not just me, a bunch of other DFSers or just like myself. So again, guys, thank you so much for the support. With all that being said, have a great Tuesday night. We are going to take the slate down if you have 100% exposure to Harden tonight. Just kidding, don't have that much, but have a decent amount of overweight on Harden and these Houston guys. Again, my favorite cash plays start with the Houston guys. Go more towards the Pelicans for GPPs. And yeah, with all that being said, guys, have a great night and let's cash.